Hi, this is Dr. Neal Schwartz, and today we're going to be talking about the mystery of oily skin. If you've had oily skin for years, you know there's nothing more uncomfortable than that thick, heavy feeling on your face at the end of the day. It can slow you down, make you look old and tired, and even irritate your eyes. It's amazing how it can even present itself within 15 minutes after your shower. It's truly a relentless force. Let's start this video by first observing that this chronic situation does have the power to drive a person mad. With that said, let's get into the cause, basic physiology, and my general treatment philosophy. We understand chronic oily skin by first breaking it down into two variables. The first is oil production, and the second is removal of the oil, or cleaning of the oil. As explained in my video for the cause of acne, the production of oil is caused by the combination of your genetics, your stress levels, your lifestyle choices, and possibly your current skincare treatment. Some of these causes of oil production are changeable, and some are less changeable. It's important to understand that regardless of how much you control some of these variables, there will always be some people with naturally less oil production and some with naturally more oil production. It's okay. There's a different treatment approach for all types, so this genetic variation isn't necessarily good nor bad. When referring to the second component, removal of the oil, we think of all the products, ingredients, procedures, skills, and devices used around the world. Cleaning up this oil, so it seems, has always been one of mankind's great passions. Out of nowhere, and unlike all other creatures in the animal kingdom, we have invented soaps, scrubs, acids, machines, and procedures in a pursuit of ultimate cleanliness. If you study ancient history, you will read about how Cleopatra used fermented milk as a form of chemical peel to feel more refreshed and renewed. This conversation has always been a part of our culture, and today we're going to break down oiliness and the concept of cleanliness using a demonstration that will forever explain this human phenomenon. Here we go. Keep in mind the two variables, oil production and removal of the oil. In our sink example, the running water represents the oil production, and the drain represents the removal of the oil. Using this analogy, I can illustrate every type of oily clinical situation. For example, what would a young male with a family history of oily skin who is currently having skin trouble look like? Let's turn the sink, or oil production, on relatively high, and let's set the drain to not equally as high removal. What do we see here? We see an accumulation. This accumulation is the cause of a large group of related skin disorders. For high oil producers, the goal looks like this instead. If we're currently having high production, we need an equally high removal rate. From this safe balance point, we can then work on slowing down production in general using the changeable variables. For low oil producers, it's often easier, but as many of you know, not always easy, as you can get stuck in this example. Here we have low oil production, but even lower removal, and thus, you end up again with an accumulation. This scenario is often characterized by the quote, "I'm the first in my family to get acne." For lower oil producers, this would be an optimal situation again, a balance without accumulation. So you see, accumulation or reservoir of oil is the dangerous situation that not only causes acne, but also causes premature aging, eye discomfort, facial heaviness, discomfort, and a direct moodiness from feeling chronically unclean. In the acne practice, we use a combination of appropriate weaponry, new methods, and a new back and forth communication that helps anyone remove the proper amount of oil without drying themselves up. The daily interaction can be important to fine-tune these skills. I hope as you review this video and further contemplate this sink analogy, you will see that your chronic oily condition is simply a current accumulation and that even you are treatable. The most dramatic stories I see are the oily patients that have been behind the 8 ball in this oil since they hit puberty, and thus, they can't even remember what it is like to feel light in the face. How do you convince someone who can't remember what it's like to not be oily that it's possible for them to be in total control of this oil? I don't know for sure how to convince hopelessness, but I do make an effort using solely hard evidence as a scientist. If you understand how to evaluate the quality of evidence, it can be very informative, even so much as to break the psychological cycle of doom and gloom. Here's an example of hard evidence from the practice. Notice not just the oil content here, but the thickening and disfiguring of the skin from years of oil accumulation. Notice here in the after shot, not only has the oil content changed, but the shape of the skin and nose is actually different. The lines have smoothed out. It's less bulky in volume. I hope the hard evidence helps, as we know from this project that hopelessness is the real disease when it comes to these chronic conditions that tend to accumulate and then persist. I'll be here if anyone needs help with oily skin or with seeing what is possible with all chronic inflammatory ailments. One more clinical piece to leave you with today. Did you know that you can alter oil production topically? You see, oil in the skin actually stimulates more oil, and oil control actually decreases oil production. This practice is based in topical actions, and the clinical results help us see what is possible. I hope this video helped you see what is possible for chronic, oily skin. Have a great day.